What's going on, guys? Santos here, and I'm back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that I dislike about my bag single cab truck. Some of you guys may be looking into building a truck. Some of you guys may have already experienced some of these things that I'm going to talk about. Me, most of these I've learned throughout the course of building this truck. I've always been transparent with you guys. I just wanted to share some knowledge and give you guys some insight as to what goes on in the background of building a truck and what are some of the issues that you can avoid when building your truck. So for context, this is my 99 single cab with the 03 to 06 front end. Suspension done by Reckless Suspension Works in Pearland, Texas. I'm running Intro Houston 2 wheels, 26x9 in the front and 28x12 reverse in the back. I just recently replaced the regular bumper pad with the HD bumper pad. So if you're wondering how to install that, make sure to check out that video. But yeah, that's the setup. That's how she looks. So starting with number 5, I'm going for the least disliked to the top disliked in that order, 5 to number 1. Starting off with number 5 will have to be the windshield tint. Now I understand that the first two, 5 and 4, are self-inflicting, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. But like I mentioned, number 5 has to be the windshield tint. I'm currently running 35% on the windshield. Now during the day, no complaints, because obviously you're driving around, it's daylight, you have your front windshield tinted, and you know, it's all lovely. Like I mentioned, no complaints. But when it becomes an issue, it's at night. Granted, I hardly ever drive the truck at night, but when I do, it's extremely difficult to see. Now, I know that I can go with a different type of film. I can remove the tint. This is one of the things that I kind of compromise with because I hardly ever drive the truck at night. So for those of you that are considering putting window tint on your windshield, this is one of the things that you are gonna run into, especially if it's your daily driver. So for number 4, we have to come inside the truck. Number 4 would have to be the lighting on the cluster. This is one of those self-inflicting dislikes. I upgraded my cluster. I added the trans stamp right here on the bottom left. But during the day, just like the tint, it's not an issue. The LEDs are super bright at night, especially because they're white. This is one of those things that you have to take in consideration if you're wanting to upgrade your cluster. Now you're probably wondering like, hey, can you turn this down? Yes, you can. Right here, right? You can mess with the brightness, and that's what I do. But again, it's another one of those things that I compromise with because I hardly ever drive the truck at night. So number 3 for me would have to be maintaining these billet wheels. If you currently own billet wheels, or if you've owned billet wheels before, you'll feel my pain. You know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've ever been driving around and rain catches you and it takes you a while to clean your wheels, you'll start developing water spots. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here on this back wheel, I've started to develop water spots, and this is even after I had my wheels ceramic coated. This is another one of those things that people don't tell you about whenever you're shopping for wheels. If you're gonna daily drive your truck, then this is inevitable, right? Something you're not gonna be able to avoid. But if you're gonna be installing billet wheels on a truck that you're only gonna, drive when the day is nice, then even when you're washing your truck, something that you have to pay close attention to, because I don't daily drive my truck, and you see what happened to mine. So again, another one of those things that people don't tell you about. What I would recommend is as soon as you wash your wheels, go ahead and dry them up to avoid this. And then if you do happen to develop water spots, and at that point, just take some polish and go ahead and clean your wheels, and you'll be good to go. The second most disliked thing about my truck is gonna be a little hard to explain. Alex, Robert, Raymond, they know exactly what I'm talking about because they've experienced this firsthand. Earlier I mentioned that my truck is bagged in the front. I don't have a controlled air system. My truck is bagged with valves, which means I have one up button, and then that same button has the down function. This means that I cannot control how much air is distributed to both sides of the valves, both sides being driver and passenger. I can't control that like an AccuAir, for example, where you have a remote and you have a module and it's telling the computer, it's telling the compressors exactly how much air or pressure to put on each corner of the truck. So when somebody is sitting in the passenger seat, you can see the truck kind of tilt a little towards the passenger side. This is something that happens from time to time. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's something that we've definitely noticed. I'm looking into what can I do to fix this issue, right? If that is installing something different, upgrading the air system that I have on the front of my truck. I don't know what that is yet. I'd have to go back and talk to Julio at Reckless and see what we can do, what options I have. The times that somebody rides in the truck with me, it's a 50-50. I'm gonna try to get a video of someone riding with me in the passenger seat so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. But another one of those things that think about if you guys are considering doing bags on your truck and going with valves. So there's someone in the passenger seat right now, but I don't know if you can tell, the truck's kind of leaning towards the passenger side a little bit. But that's what I was talking about whenever I say that it kind of tilts to the side a little bit. It might be a little hard to tell in the video, but that's what I was referring to. And the number one thing I dislike about my bag single cab truck are the rear tires. Now you're wondering, what does the rear tires have to do with your truck? When I was building this truck, the only tires available for these cacerolas was a 295/25. If you've seen 28x12 reverse wheels in person, you know these things are wide. The 295/25s have to be stretched on these wheels, which means over time they start leaking air. This is another one of those things that I had to learn the hard way. You can see right there how this tire doesn't protect this wheel entirely. Look at your stock vehicle, the tires and the wheels. That tire's protecting that wheel over this lip entirely. It's gotten to the point where I have to carry an air compressor everywhere I go. If I leave the truck at a show overnight, for example, the day after or the day whenever I'm leaving, I have to air up the tires. Just depends on how long you leave the truck sitting, determine how much air you lose. Now, Custom Car Audio and Wheels here in Richmond, Texas started making tires for these wheels. I think they're like 325/30s. Right, they have them in 26, 28, even 30s, I believe. They used to be $900 a tire. Last I heard, now they're $1,800 a tire. That's a grip. I think if they had those tires available whenever I first built the truck, I would have bought them. Another thing to think about, now I'm gonna be paying $3,600 for 2 tires, but also there's no room here. Look, my fingers barely fit. So if I go with the water tire, that tire is gonna rub up against the inner rear fender here, and with this bed being fiberglass, it's gonna break it. So my only other option is I'm gonna have to shorten my rear end some more to make these tires fit. If I decide to purchase these tires, that's $3,600 just in tires that I'm gonna spend, plus another $1,800 that I'm gonna have to front to shorten my rear end. So until these tires get wasted, I'm gonna run with these. So something else to consider, if you're thinking about running 28x12 reverse wheels, do your homework, save some money. If you can, buy those tires. So there it is, guys. I hope you found this information useful. Hopefully, you know, if you are considering building a truck, something similar to what I have, whether it's with valves, running these specific wheel size, hopefully this information is useful for you and can avoid some issues for you in the long run. If you were to ask me in retrospect, Santos, would you do this again? 100%, I would do it again. I would do it again because I love the way my truck came out. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Let me know if there's something else that I missed, if I'm being too picky, or if there's something you guys would change about this truck if it was yours. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so if you're new here, consider subscribing. I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys again, and see you on the next one. Peace.